Wait a minute.
The following is a feature presentation of our nation's sports show. Super Bowl 60, the New England Patriots, the Seattle Seahawks, a rematch of Super Bowl 49. The Patriots are seeking their 7th Lombardi trophy. The Seahawks are seeking redemption. 11 years ago, Seattle was 1 yard away from repeating as back-to-back champions. One interception later changed the course of history. Now, 11 years later, these two teams meet once again on the biggest stage of them all. One more victory. Sam Darnold will silence his critics forever. One more victory in his second year. Drake May wins his first Super Bowl. One more victory from history for Mike Vrabel. He would be the only player and coach to win a Super Bowl with the same team. One of these two teams will etch their name in the football immortality.
Good up to the court, talking all that is sport, breaking down the latest news, scores, and more. Welcome to our Nation Sports Show.
Oh, here we are again. Just when you thought this show couldn't get any better, Steven is not the host today. I am. No, I'm kidding. What's up, everybody? Originally, today was supposed to be a Steven possibly solo show, but thanks to some plans getting rearranged, I'm here. Yeah, I said I'm here to save this show from sucking worse than it usually does with me at the helm. What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are having a great day. I am Ezra Vickery, and we are our nation's sports show. We thank you guys for joining us, and we got a loaded show here tonight. How are we going to fill this next hour and a half to 2 hours? We don't know. But we always try to figure it out, and we'll do the same tonight. Tonight is a big night because we have our Super Bowl predictions. And who knows, may or may not show up in this crew to help us out with that. All I know is it's going to be an awesome time. It's going to be a great time, as it always is here with the crew. And, of course, next week's the big game. We're going to discuss it. We're going to discuss everything about it. We got to get into some NBA news with the trade deadline coming up here very, very soon. Some moves have already been made. Rumors are being spread around the league. We'll see what happens from here. We'll talk about what is confirmed and what we know. Also, we're going to get into what other news we can get into. Some possible UFC news, some Major League Baseball, whatever we fill time with. And, of course, don't forget tonight at your 8 p.m. Eastern Time, watch it with us as well as we do the show, is, of course, NXT. So we're going to be excited for that as well. But right now, it's time to talk a little sports. And joining us from an undisclosed location, a.k.a. his job, he is the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, JT. No, not the one from NSYNC, Joey Thornton.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's having an amazing Tuesday. And yes, I am here from an undisclosed location, otherwise known as the Aaron Rodgers Darkness Retreat, which has Mike McCarthy and Matt Nagy as special guests. So be sure to tune into that. But yeah, I'm here, ready to talk some sports. So let's do it, baby.
All right, man. We got him, and we got with me my heavy metal brother from the great state of North Kakalaki. He was about to break the cycle today when it came to hosts. It's been a while since he's hosted a show by himself. But with me here, it feels like home. Ladies and gentlemen, Big Steven Wyand is here.
And all of these references were done for you. uh, well, we know the Giants will be on the outside looking in with their hiring. We'll get to that in a lot of news that came down in the NFL. And the NBA trade deadline, as Ezra pointed out, is vastly approaching, and there's a lot of trades that have already gone down. And the deadline is this Thursday, and the big elephant in the room. No, it's not Tommy Dreamer. It is Giannis Antetokounmpo going to get traded from the Bucks? We'll find out, and we're going to get to that. We're going to get to a lot of things happening, and including, yes, this Sunday it is the Super Bowl. And we're going to preview that in the second hour, give our predictions for the big game, all that and so much more. And we'll even talk a little pro wrestling because if you are living under a rock, the epic promo battle between Roman Reigns and one CM Punk last night in Philadelphia took place on Monday Night Raw, setting the stage for WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas as the main event. And with that being said, let's do this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we got a lot to get into and a good amount to get into, shall we say. Obviously, shows like these are a little bit harder to do, as you may know, because the lack of, available information. But let's get into the NBA trades, shall we? An NBA trade deadline, like I said, vastly approaching, but teams are already on the move. Shams Charania, of course, ESPN reporter and Chicago native, has been hustling and bustling all over the place. Let's see right here. One of the biggest stories right here is the Chicago Bulls have traded center Nikola Vucevic and a second round pick to the Boston Celtics for Anthony Anderson or Simmons, sorry, and a second round pick. Now, this is very interesting because Anthony Simons or Simmons, whatever the way you pronounce it, he was a member of the Chicago Bulls at one time. So this is his second go around with the team. Obviously, Vucevic, who's been an ice cold killer and one of the finishers of the team, is now leaving. As a fan of the Bulls, I don't know if this makes sense to me or not, and obviously I haven't really watched that much basketball because of football being with the Bears and everything being the predecessor kind of to everything. But I don't know. I have an uneasy feeling about this and why they got rid of Vooch because I think he was doing very well, especially this season and last season. He was really coming on as a member of the Chicago Bulls. So, I don't know. What do you guys feel about this?
I don't get this trade at all from a Bulls standpoint, but if you're a Celtics fan, this is a great trade to get Vucevic, who's one of the most versatile big men in the NBA, and a guy who can shoot, and a guy who can spread the floor. And essentially, this is kind of like their Kristaps Porzingis trade from a couple of years ago. And the Celtics, I think, could still use a few additional key pieces. But man, this is a good move, to get Vucevic into the swing of things because the guy is a good player. He's an all around, versatile big guy, and I think he's going to stretch the floor for the Celtics. And obviously, the Celtics like to do one thing, and that's shoot threes, and that's what Vucevic can do. But if you're the Bulls, I mean, to me, this is not a good trade for them. And getting Simmons, whatever the hell, however you pronounce his name, Simons, this is not a good move. I don't think for Chicago because Anthony's already, like you said, he's already been with Chicago, and Simons is clearly he had a good game for the Celtics this past Sunday against the Bucks, but I think Chicago is trying to get younger when they really didn't need to get younger. I mean, they were. I mean, you watch this team. They've been pretty competitive. The last couple of years, and I don't understand why they did this because Anthony Simons. He's a decent player, but Chicago really didn't get that much in this trade.
No. One of my biggest fears about Chicago is they're trying to move pieces around, but I believe if I remember who's at the helm with the Bulls, White Sox, who owns both, I believe it's Jerry Reinsdorf who has had has had a very turbulent history with not only the Bulls but with fans in general because the fans feel like that he's kind of like out of touch and doesn't feel like he knows what he's doing. But that's neither here nor there. To me, I don't know. I just feel like it's a bad trade for Chicago. But then again, if you think about it, reading from the tweet that was posted, we get a second round pick in the NFL draft. So, that's better than nothing. I'll gladly take a second round pick because we could use all the help we can get, especially with us faltering in this season a little bit, just being right outside of that play-in margin. But, I don't know. I feel like yeah, the Celtics won in this trade. Joey, do you have any thoughts on this?
I would say it's definitely a loss if you're a Bulls fan and a gain if you're a Celtics fan. Um, there's not really much more I can say about it because I'm not, I haven't really been able to watch a whole lot of NBA action. I've been able to keep up with it, obviously, but as far as who's been doing what, as far as individuals on the court, I really haven't been able to pay much attention to it since I've been very, very busy as of late. But Vucevic does bring a lot to the table. He brought a lot to the table when he was on the Bulls, and there's no telling what he's going to do with the Boston Celtics. I
Yeah.
do agree with Steven, though. I think this is definitely like a Kristaps Porzingis trade that I think could benefit Boston in the long term. But like you just said, Ezra, y'all do get a second round pick in June's NBA draft. So, it's not a complete loss. Maybe y'all can go out and find somebody decent in the college rankings. But as far as this trade is concerned, definitely a win for Boston.
Yeah.
And Kevin has written in the chat too about how White could be on the move too as well. I'm like, you can't get rid of him. That's one of your cornerstone players. I mean, Chicago, like it's almost like they again, like we talked about this before, and like other sports broadcasters have talked about this. We now live in a time frame of what have you done for me lately? And that goes for the NFL, that goes for the NBA, Major League Baseball, you name it. If you are not successful in 2 or 3 years, essentially they're going to move on from key pieces. And I feel like that I feel like Chicago is making a bunch of unnecessary moves that don't even need to be made right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about another quick thing and another trade that happened. This was pretty massive. And that is that Minnesota and Detroit have agreed to a multi-team deal that says Jaden Ivey and Mike Conley Jr. to the Bulls and Kevin Herter or Huter and Dario Saric to the Pistons. Sources tell ESPN Detroit also receives a 2026 first round protective swap from Minnesota.
Hmm.
Yeah, and the Pistons have been one of the most shocking teams in the league this year at conquering the Eastern Conference right now. And they've been playing really good. So Detroit continues to climb up the ladders with their moves now. And another team that made a move today, and that's the Memphis Grizzlies. And man, oh man, that team is ooh, ooh, yeah, they're not good.
Yep, Jaren
You
Jackson
were,
Jr. and
yeah,
John. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Joey. Sorry.
I was gonna say, you can tell that by Memphis doing this trade, you can definitely tell that Memphis has entered pure rebuilding mode.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, look at who they got rid of. Let's look at this. The trade they traded Jared Jackson Jr., John Concar, Jack Landell, and Vince Williams Jr. to the Utah Jazz for Walter Clayton Jr., Kyle Anderson, Taylor Hendricks, George, Georges Niang, and 3 future first round picks.
Clearly, the Jazz are rebuilding already, and the Grizzlies are about to head that direction too. I mean, and again, the impending rumors of will Ja Morant be traded from Memphis too? If you get rid of him, yeah, you are done.
You are fucked.
Yes.
And also, too, we got to talk about this too. The Grizzlies have also created a massive $28.8 million trade exception in this deal, the largest ever in the NBA.
Oh wow.
Let's see. Detroit Pistons first-time All-Star Jalen Duren has accepted an invitation to participate in the 2026 NBA Slam Dunk Contest. He will join Jackson Hayes and Carter Bryant in the contest field.
Well, I will say, as far as the slam dunk contest, we are guaranteed a new winner because the previous winner from the past 3 times, Matt McClung, has denied playing or has said that he is not going to defend his crown this year. So we are definitely guaranteed a new champion, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, he clung to his title a little bit too much.
Oh, did you have to go there?
Yes. You know me by now. You know I have to go there. I tell more awful jokes than Jim Florentine. Give me a break. Love you, Jim. Also, let's talk about this. Kawhi Leonard has been added to the 2026 NBA All-Star Game. After the selection of the initial 24 All-Stars, Leonard was added to bring the total number of U.S. All-Stars to 16, the minimum required. And it is expected that Karl Anthony Towns will play for the World Team in the 2026 NBA All-Star Game.
Yeah, speaking of All Star, didn't I see something? If I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong, but San Antonio Spurs coach, I believe, is going to be one of the coaches for Team World, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. Don't remember. I think you're right, Joey. I'm just not 100% certain off the top of my head. Well, let's see what else. Ooh. Cleveland Cavaliers traded DeAndre Hunter to the Sacramento Kings for Dennis Schroeder and Keon Ellis.
Mm.
Hmm.
That's where Dario Saric got sent. That's what Dario Saric got sent. And 2 future second round picks.
Hey, speaking of trading, I wanted to bring this up real fast. This would be a pointless trade if it were to go down, but Kevin put in our chat earlier today that apparently the Clippers and the Cavs have been talking about doing a swap between James Harden and Darius Garland straight up. What the hell? That would be the most stupidest trade in the history, or one of the most stupidest trades in the history of the NBA.
Yeah, because you're swapping a player who has had success with the Clippers franchise off and on, and Garland, who's a good player, but the dude can't stay healthy. And not only that, but Harden is not going to have a lot of chemistry with Cleveland if this trade goes down because he's gonna have to get acclimated to a whole nother situation, with a bunch of different players. Gonna have to get, if this happens, like I don't think this is a good trade. I think this is a bad trade. And it's a lose-lose for both teams happening. And I hope this trade doesn't happen because if Harden is traded from the Clippers to the Cavaliers, who's that going to leave the Clippers with besides Kawhi? Nobody. And it doesn't help that the Clippers got blown out last night. I mean, Philadelphia owned them, and
Yep.
it just go ahead.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, and I mean, this trade. Sometimes these teams make trades that just make you scratch your head, and we've experienced that over the years. I mean, in this during this time of the year, and I
We
hope this doesn't
we
happen.
we we experienced it last year with the whole Lakers and Mavs trade swap that sent Luka Doncic to the Lakers.
Yeah, and I'll never forget that because we're around the time when this happened last year, when the week of the Super Bowl, and I remember that night. It was a Saturday night. And there's reports floating around from ESPN. Oh, well, Luka's been traded to the Lakers. And we're like, get the hell out of here. That's not real. That's fake. That's AI. Nope, it was real. And
I'm the one who told you.
yeah, you're the one that told me. I'm like, nah, that can't be real. We're just bullshitting, hanging out. And then you said, oh, by the way, there's reports going around that Luka's been traded from the Mavericks to the Lakers. I'm like, that can't be real. And it
Mm-hmm.
was. And then, oh, by the way, there's rumors floating around that Anthony Davis could be traded from the Mavericks. Again, what the hell's that benefiting you? Nothing, because Anthony Davis can't stay healthy.
Dude, he's more fragile than the fucking leg lamp from A Christmas Story.
You ain't
Uh,
wrong. You ain't wrong with that
you're
statement.
not wrong. You are
I
not
mean,
wrong.
I mean, he's more plastic than any of the toys that we've seen in the Toy Story saga.
He needs a giant sticker that says "Fragile" and must be Italian. By the way, we go from trades to a suspension. And that is, of course, Paul George has been suspended 25 games for violating the league's anti-drug and doping policy.
What a moron. What an absolute moron. Like, dude, come on. I mean, this this is bad. This is really bad. I mean, what more can you say about it? I mean, come on, dude. Like, there's better things to do than getting fucked up on illegal substances. Come on. What are we
Yeah.
doing here? You're one of the best players in the NBA when you're healthy. But no, got to do illegal things.
By
Not
the
good.
way, also don't forget also too that while whoever that team is dealing with Paul George's suspension, they're also the Houston Rockets are dealing with injuries. Steven Adams had to undergo season-ending surgery on his ankle.
And I know Kevin has talked about that before. Ankle injuries, leg issues. I mean, just these lower body injuries that happen, especially to these basketball players and to these football players. I mean, it is no joke. And man, Adams is one of the best big men to play in this league still. When he's out there on the floor, he's a really good defender and he can protect the rim and stuff and get down in the paint and score down low. But man, that's a huge loss for the Rockets.
Yeah, man, it's been crazy. It's crazy this whole trade deadline. Cause you never know what's going to happen. You never know if we're going to get this guy, that guy, this guy's going to leave, that guy's going to leave. It's all, insanity, but it's
And then there's obviously it's been talked about for days about what is Golden State going to do? Are they going to get Giannis? Because Giannis keeps floating around different teams, especially Golden State, and there's these potential trade packages that could send Giannis to the Warriors. And here's my only thing with this. If you are going to trade for Giannis, you better not have Jimmy Butler in that package. Or Draymond Green. Because I would rather have Butler and Green than no Giannis. Because when Butler is healthy, he gets buckets like we already know he does. And Draymond Green, no matter how old he is, he's still one of the best defenders in the league still. So if there's a way to keep those guys and get Giannis, it's a win-win situation. But to me, it's more of a loss if they lose Green and get Giannis. Because if you're gonna go for one of those two players having to leave, Butler or Green, I would rather take the hit with Butler and get Giannis if that does come down to that. You don't want to do it because he says that he wants to finish his career with Golden State. I mean, and we've seen how successful Butler, has been with Golden State when he's been healthy. Because when Steph ain't got it going, here's Jimmy G gets buckets Butler that can pick up the snide. And obviously his brother, Seth Curry, is there. So they have the shooters, but you can't get rid of one of your best defenders in Green. I'm sorry. Like, Green is the heartbeat of that team. And if you get rid of the heartbeat, the soul of your organization, and I know Golden State fans said, "Oh, that's Curry's team." Yeah, it's not just his team, it's Green's team as well. Because Draymond Green, he is the engine that makes that defense go. And if you lose the engine that makes your defense go, well, then you have then there's nobody on the perimeter, down low, that can protect that side of the court. And that can lock up your best players. Because when Green's on his game, he can defend with the best of them, whether it's LeBron or Luka or James Harden or Kawhi Leonard or, Paul George or, all these different players that have played against Draymond Green over the years. He brings the best out of everybody on that floor. And I know Giannis is a great player. He's 31 years old. He's a phenomenal athlete. But there are things that Green can do that Giannis can't do. Green is a better three-point shooter than Giannis is. He's a hell of a lot better free throw shooter than Giannis. They're both equal on defense, but pretty equal on defense. I think that Green's a lot better. But it's just very interesting to see what these teams are thinking, when this trade deadline is approaching, because like you said, as you do not have a clue what is going to happen. Like, any trade can go down at any given time. So it's going to be very interesting to see where Giannis goes. Because if Giannis does get traded from Milwaukee, they are fucked beyond recognition.
We've seen Kevin Durant get traded while he was at some sort of function.
Yeah, he was with what, Phoenix, and then he gets traded.
He got the news that he was being traded to Houston.
Yeah, and again, when you're having to get acclimated with a different organization and different scenery, it just doesn't happen. You don't snap your fingers and automatically I'm adjusted. No, you got to get adjusted to your new teammates, new coaching staff, training facilities, you name it. And Milwaukee better think about this long and hard on what they're going to do, because we know how bad this team is when Giannis is not there. Because it was very apparent on Sunday in that game against the Celtics. Giannis isn't there, they're getting their asses whooped. They can't defend. with him not on the floor. They can't string together consecutive victories like that and go on a hot streak without Giannis being there. Because they traded away Middleton years ago. Drew Holiday's not walking through that door anymore. Giannis cannot do it all by himself. And what is left of that Milwaukee Bucks championship team from 2021, it's all but done. Bobby Portis is the other player that is still there, that is still a good role player. Giannis, I understand why he wants to be traded in a way, because this Bucks team is going nowhere. But when it comes down to the trade deadline, you have to weigh your options on what is the best situation for you. Because, and I know Golden State is the hot button topic on that's where he wants to go, that's where he should go. If he is going to end up there, the trade needs to make sense.
No, it don't. Nothing ever makes sense. Why should it make sense? Why do we need to make sense here? You know this by now. You know this by now, Stevie Wonder. Nothing ever makes sense.
This is true.
Good point.
That's why this show exists. Because nothing on this show ever makes sense. I mostly blame Joey for that, but that's another story. All right. Let's see what else we can get into. Well, let's check the world of the Major League Baseball place, shall we? I mean, obviously, spring training pitches and catches will be reporting soon, but there's still deals being swung, trades being made. Let's see right here. The Arizona Diamondbacks have agreed to a deal with veteran first baseman Carlos Santana.
Oh,
Makes me wonder if he's dating a black magic woman or not. He's probably smooth as a first baseman.
Hey-o! Oh, wait, not that way. Sorry.
But yeah, so they got him on a 1-year, $2 million contract. Let me check what else.
I will say a big, well, sort of big trade went down yesterday. Give me just a second to look at the news.
Okay, go ahead, look at that. I'm gonna say this real quick that Carlos Beltran, who was announced as a member of the Hall of Fame for this year, he will be the third Hall of Famer with a Mets cap on his plaque. So, yep, he'll be going into the Hall of Fame as a Met.
All right, let's see. Yeah, here we go. The trade that went down yesterday. Former All-Star infielder Ben Donovan has been traded from the Louis Cardinals to the Seattle Mariners in a 3-team trade that also included the Tampa Bay Rays. The complete terms of the trade are as follows. Let's see. Seattle has received right-handed starter Jurangelo Sagente. I don't know how you pronounce that.
You butchered it just fine. Don't worry.
It's okay, but yeah, he went to the Cardinals. The Mariners also traded third baseman Ben Williamson to the Rays. The Cardinals received a pair of prospects, center fielder Ty Pete from Seattle and outfielder Colton Ledbetter from the Rays, and as well as 2 competitive balanced round B picks. But yeah, the biggest part of that was, of course, Brendan Donovan being traded from the Cardinals to the Mariners. So that's a huge pickup for Seattle.
Nice. I know some news that was announced this past weekend. That was that the 2027 NHL Stadium Series will take place at Jerry World, AT&T Stadium,
Oh Lord.
as the Dallas Stars play the Las Vegas Golden Knights.
Mm.
Hmm. Something else that happened in baseball earlier today. All-star infielder Isaac Paredes and the Houston Astros agreed Tuesday to a one-year, $9.35 million contract, which would include a $13.35 million team option for 2027 if Paredes finishes among the top 10 in MVP voting this year.
All right.
We
All
were
right.
talking about the Bucks a little earlier. They're playing Chicago tonight, and Giannis is still out with a calf injury.
Interesting.
If, he, if he's not traded by Thursday, I'm going to be very, very surprised.
Very surprised.
But yeah, we're gonna be keeping an eye on the trades and everything throughout the rest of the week. So we'll be back on next when we're back on next week's show. We will definitely have everything.
Okay. Somebody made an interesting point. Jaden McDaniels needs to be included with the Timberwolves trade for Giannis in the package wherever Giannis goes. That way the Bucks can get somebody who can score. And again, he's a good player, but again, we're talking about your number one ace, the guy who is going to be the leader of the team. Nothing against Nothing against him, but he's not Giannis. He is not on that level of being a guy you can center a basketball team around. McDaniels is a solid
Um,
three-point shooter, but he's no Giannis. He's no Ant-Man. He's no Joker. Hell, he's no Jamal Murray. Like, you have to have a complete player who can play offense and who's a pretty solid defender. Because you can't just rely on one, part of your game to lead the team to success. You can't just be an offensive player.
that is true.
Yep, very much so. Let's see here. Trying to think of any other big kind of news that circulated. Let me actually, you know what? Let's go into the NFL talk. Let's talk about, of course, let's talk about all the craziness that went down, known as the Adam Schefter Nightmare Week continues, as we call it, or as I like to call it. And let's talk about the big news, and that is that former Bears head coach, former offensive coordinator for the good old Kansas City Chiefs, Mr. Matt Nagy, has got a new home.
Yep,
Steven,
as
where
the
is
New York Giants offensive coordinator.
Harbaugh? There is time
Har-
to get out of that deal.
Get
Harbaugh,
out, get
you
out while
have
you
one
can.
job. Get out of here while you can. Because if you don't, your organization, your coaching staff is royally, professionally fucked.
But
Fuckity fuck, 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 fuck. Beyond recognition. Yeah, it's going to be bad for Giants fans. Because Giants fans are like, oh, we have a bright future with Harbaugh. Not with Nagy calling your offensive plays. No, 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 no. No.
I mean,
Matt,
honestly, did Harbaugh not take any notes in regards to the Kansas City Chiefs' offensive collapse last season?
the reason why Eric Bieniemy is returning to the Kansas City Chiefs is because Matt Nagy could not coach his way out of a paper bag. At least Bieniemy brought out the best in his players. At least he knows who Mahomes is. At least he had success with Mahomes and the Chiefs. Not Matt Nagy? No. Matt Nagy is a colossal failure as a coach and as a coordinator. I mean, as you as a Bears fan know of all how bad Matt Nagy was in a big spot.
I'm glad every team got our scraps.
What the hell does the Giants think that Matt Nagy is going to provide with this organization? Because again, like we have talked about on this show time and time again, it's not just about the players, it's about the coordinators. It's not just about the head coaches. Again, it's also about the coordinators. Because the Philadelphia Eagles had arguably one of the most dominant, dynamic offenses what will be 2 years when this next season starts for 26-27 in the fall. And Kevin Patullo, this past regular season, brought the Eagles offense down in the standings. Stripped away the talents of Saquon Barkley. Matt Nagy for Kansas City did the same thing to that Chiefs team because, again, you have Patrick Mahomes. And I know Travis Kelce he's older. He's been around this league, for a long time, and we still don't know his future, but we will probably know it in March, in a month from now, on is he going to retire, which more than likely he will. If he doesn't, I'll be surprised. But look at that team that Kansas City had. You still had a young Xavier Worthy at wide receiver. You had Rashid Rice. Two really good receivers. You had decent running backs. Were they world beaters? No. But you still had quality players that got this team to a Super Bowl. And Matt Nagy was already horrible the year they went to the Super Bowl. They won in spite of themselves. But the next year, they sucked because of Matt Nagy. And Matt Nagy is going to dry out any of the offense that the Giants have right now. Because now I know this past year, Jackson Dart, he lit a spark into this organization that Russell Wilson was not doing. And Jackson Dart, when he is healthy, he's a very interesting player and he's a human highlight reel. He can make plays. He's gonna have to learn on his throwing mechanics and get that stuff down. And he's already a good running quarterback and all that type of stuff. But when you look at what this organization did to lure Harbaugh after he got fired from Baltimore, you mean to tell me you couldn't have brought Todd Monken with you? No, we could. Can't do that. No. Because didn't Harbaugh say that he didn't want to get rid of Monken? Why the hell couldn't you bring him with you? Because Matt Nagy is the last person you want with this team. Oh, they're done. They are done. Done. The future's done, Giants fans.
Yeah, interesting point that you actually bring up Todd Monken because he now is a head coach.
Yeah, with the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, with the Cleveland Browns of all teams.
And again, whatever was left of the hope in the Giants' win sales is done. Because Matt Nagy is going to ruin any potential of that team. And if this team somehow makes a turnaround, I'll be shocked. I will be shocked. Because, this is not a good hire by the Giants.
No.
You don't say. You don't say the Giants are idiots. You don't say the Giants couldn't hire somebody out of a wet paper bag. Interesting.
All I can picture is Jericho saying, "Look at you giant idiot."
What's your name?
Here we go. You know what happens when the Giants make a boneheaded hire like Matt Nagy? Do you know what happens if the Giants completely screw up their offensive game with the hiring of this idiot Matt Nagy as your offensive coordinator? New York Giants, you're the list.
Suck it up, man.
You suck. You suck. All right, here we go. All right, moving on here, gents, because we got a good amount to get into. Hey, you know what the funny thing is? Bill Belichick isn't the only person from the Patriots to not enter the Hall of Fame first round, because Robert Kraft was also not selected first round.
The Patriots, you are double fucked. Your team heads to the Super Bowl in back-to-back weeks. Your owner, your head coach that led this team to 6 Super Bowls. No, we can't have him in the Hall of Fame. No, can't have him. Robert Kraft, what the hell did he do? Oh, no. Can't have him. Can't have him. Like people have said, Tom Brady, you're next.
Let's see.
If Tom Brady doesn't get in the first ballot, I don't know what the hell we're doing.
For real.
Let's see here. This ought to be interesting here. This one is Titans are hiring 49ers assistant head coach Gus Bradley to be their new defensive coordinator.
And that's not a bad hire because Gus Bradley is a very good defensive coach.
And he's reuniting with Robert Saleh.
Mm-hmm. Hey, making good coaching hires. What's that, you ask? Making sense.
And the funny thing is, it's the 49ers that are actually, or it's the Titans that are actually doing it.
Yep.
The team that has dwelled in more mediocrity than the early parts of Miz's WWE career.
So does that make them tough enough?
Oh.
Yeah, go sit in the corner.
I'll gladly warm that spot up.
Hey.
Anyways.
Hey, you're the one about staying in the show, not me.
Hey, but I will say, you know what would make an excellent coaching hire?
What's that?
If the 49ers go out and hire Jim Schwartz as their defensive coordinator?
No, they've already made their hire. Former Falcons head coach, Raheem Morris. Oh, yeah.
That's right. I forgot.
He's their defensive coordinator.
Raheem Morris, which
that
is actually a smart
great
move.
Hire. You know, that's another. You bring up Jim Schwartz, a former head coach himself with Detroit, and a great defensive coordinator as well.
We just had and Steven, I think I know where you're going with this, but we just had a more recent one happen, and that was Mike McDaniel. You know, absolutely one of the great offensive / defensive coordinators in the league. An absolute guy who could play that. Who could do that role. But his head coach.
Oh, I just thought about this. This just hit me. What if Schwartz goes to the Chargers? What if he does go to the Chargers as their defensive coordinator?
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Because obviously the former defensive coordinator for the Chargers is now a head coach as well with the Ravens.
Denver's passing game coordinator is now become their offensive coordinator now. Davis Webb.
Yep.
He got promoted up. That's interesting.
Oh, and also speaking of which, going into the week, we had 2 head coaching vacancies still available. Well, one of them has now been filled with the Arizona Cardinals hiring the Rams offensive coordinator and Matt LaFleur's younger brother, Mike LaFleur, as their head coach.
Yep, the former Rams coordinator.
And then shortly after the Super Bowl, the Las Vegas Raiders will be looking to hire Seattle offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak as their
head coach. It's a trap.
Apparently, according to Hijacker, it is.
everything is a trap. Oh, did we forget tonight also too? The Pro Bowl games are on tonight.
Yeah, who cares?
I'll turn it on
Who
because I
cares?
like to see what they're going to do with this flag football thing.
One thing that is going to be interesting tonight is which one of the seven men is going to be climbing the ladder and being the newest NXT champion tonight.
Yep, you are right. Tonight is that ladder match that features people such as Joe Hendry, Evolved Champion Jackson Drake, Sean Legacy, Ricky Saints, many others. It's going to be a nice big ladder match. NXT title hanging above. Also tonight, the NXT tag team, I believe the NXT. Try to think. Oh, the women's North America title, three-way match. Izzy Dame. I think it's Izzy Dame, Thea
Thea
Hale,
Hale and Tatum
and
Paxley.
Tatum Paxley. Yeah, that's so all tonight. That should be good tonight on NXT. But
And then
getting back
also
to
and, and then
what?
also real quick, NXT women's tag team Zaruka will be taking on the TNA's The Elegance brand for the TNA Knockout Tag Team titles.
And speaking of Sol Ruka, man, what a performance this past Saturday at the Rumble.
Yeah, a lot of talent had some breakout performances. Soruka had a really, really great standout performance. Lola Vice did great in her first Rumble. Oba Femi killed it in his first. We got to see the debut of the Royce Keys, formerly known as Powerhouse Hobbs in AEW. He made his WWE debut at the Rumble, which was cool to see. Just a lot of different things going on. Um, I know we had I was on the post show with Tony Mongrovian and Hijacker this past week. If you guys want to check it out, our thoughts on the Rumble, our thoughts on all the other matches. You can catch that on the Nation's Corner definitely. I was on as a surprise kind of fourth entry into the show because plans had changed. But check it out, guys. It's really cool because we give our opinions on the Rumble, what we think's coming up next. It's gonna look interesting going forward now that the Rumble has locked in. Um, and also last, if you guys watched Raw last night, real quick, I don't want to get too deep into this because we still got more football talk to get to. Masterclass promo battle between between CM Punk and Roman Reigns last night to set up their match at WrestleMania in Vegas.
That
So
right there
Absolutely
is
master
amazing.
promo.
I mean, two of the best pro wrestlers right now walking the planet at what they do. CM Punk, one of the best guys to talk on the stick, at 47 years of age, is still at the top of his game. And Roman Reigns. I mean, I love me some CM Punk, but man, Roman Reigns last night held his own on that microphone against Punk. I mean, hitting some lines that were just earth shattering, like just incredible stuff last night. Just the way these two went at each other, just throwing haymakers at one another, and clear from the crowd last night in Philly. This was the match they wanted, and there is some history between these two that goes back to when the Shield of Roman, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose, now known as John Moxley, all came in the WWE. And man, just the history that Punk and Roman have, and that last night, that felt like Phil Brooks and Joe Anawahi talking to us on screen. Like, that was amazing last night. That felt like the real individuals speaking in front of an audience. And just the way they took you on a journey with every word that was said on the mic. The shots that they took at one another. The way that they just went at one another. This right here is setting the tempo for Mania in Vegas this year.
And basically, what they were saying was, top that, everybody, because that's going to be hard to follow. And this is clear. This is clearly the main event for Mania in Vegas. If you are not sold by this promo, then I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's all on you to get with the program or not. Because if you know the business of wrestling and how it's done, that is how you do it. Matches are great, but it's the storytelling that puts asses in seats. Job well done, gentlemen.
Yep. You can't tell me no different. That was a masterclass promo, and for any young wrestler who's out there aspiring to become as big as these guys in the business, watch promos like this, because this is how you talk people into a 60,000, 70,000 seat arena in Vegas in mid to late April, for the biggest show of the year. That's how you do it, folks.
And
But
real quick, there was talks about and wondering, was Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns going to be going at it for around 3? Although that would have been good. Don't get me wrong, but man, it just seems like Triple H and company were paying attention, to different things, and they're like, you know what? Let's do this. And what a decision to and there was reports going around, oh, Roman, that was a safe and easy pick. And then 24 hours later, they're going, oh my God, that was great. That's why they picked him to win the Rumble.
well, I said this. I said something similar to Roman winning the Rumble. It was not a safe. Triple H doesn't believe in the word safe. Like,
no, it was not a safe pick. It was not a safe pick.
The being a safe pick is, and to me, I wouldn't have been entertained by Cody or Roman anyways in round 3. I think I'm over that now. But anyways, that was
and not only that, but Gunther didn't need it because Gunther's whole shtick is the career killer, and adding AJ Styles onto his repertoire, that right there did more for him than him winning the Rumble.
Yes, sir.
He didn't need the Rumble.
No.
And like Roman said last night, winning the Rumble 11 years ago in Philly, whole different experience than what it is now. Because now Roman has that one word that allured him years ago, aura. He now has an aura about him. He has that presence. He has that it factor. When he walks into an arena, the game changes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. That's going to be interesting.
And what a callback for Roman last night on Colt Cabana's podcast.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah. And when it comes down to it, man, it's going to be interesting to see what happens at WrestleMania. 2.5 months of build. We'll see where it leads. But man, we definitely got more football talk to get into, and we're going to get into it now. Ravens are expected to hire Dolphins defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver as their new defensive coordinator. So that's interesting right there. Let's see what else. Packers officially named Jonathan Gannon as their defensive coordinator. Lord.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Cheeseheads, welcome to hell.
And Bears fans said, ha 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 ha. No, and Greg the Hammer Valentine said, ha 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 ha. And because of the Rams having so much success this year, the coaches and the staff get rewards. And by that, I mean is that head coach Sean McVay and general manager Les Snead have been signed to contract extensions. Hey, by the way, breaking news. The new general manager of NXT going forward will be Robert Stone,
Oh God.
Ava's assistant.
Oh, okay.
But it seems like he's playing more of a babyface role than a heel role. We'll see what happens from here on out.
Well, I will say this. At least the general manager of NXT moving forward is not going to be Booker T.
Oh,
I wish.
if
I wish.
only
I wish. Go ahead, Steven. I know you got something to say.
if only Booker could get off commentary, that would be great.
Yeah, can we just ship him over? Can he? Can we just get rid of him, put him in a box, and send him over to Saudi?
Or better yet, just send him to AEW.
Deb might become an AEW fan after that, or a WWE fan. But the Saints will be the home team for the first ever NFL game in Petty.
Yes.
Hey.
I heard about that over the weekend.
Yep. A 4.3 magnitude earthquake shook San Francisco at 7:01 a.m. on February 2nd for the U.S. Geological Survey. Man, San Francisco getting hit with earthquakes. What did he try to do? Sink the stadium before they freaking the game plays?
For real.
For real.
We talked about Raheem Morris, of course, getting
Great hire by San Francisco.
good hire with San Fran to get him. Definitely great offensive, great coordinator, just a bad coach. Let's see what else. Oh no, it's not Tatum Paxley, by the way, Joey. It's Lola Vice.
Lola Vice, that's it.
Yeah, it's Lola Vice, Steela Hale, and Izzy Dane for the NXT Women's North American title.
Okay.
Let's see here. Any other quick news here before we move forward? I mentioned about Mike LaFleur. Okay, so we'll leave that out. Scrolling through the Twitter feed. You know what was pretty funny was last week on the Pat McAfee show. New head coach Joe Brady was on the show. And he was in the office and all that, talking to people, meeting people for the first time. So he joined Pat's show in the morning or afternoon. Well, they also had a special guest, and that was Mr. Josh Allen, who was standing behind Joe Brady and joined in and answered some questions from Pat. Of course, as we know, he's currently battling that foot injury that's been plaguing him since before that last game. So, Pittsburgh also hired former Las Vegas Raiders defensive coordinator Patrick Graham as their new defensive coordinator.
Oh, Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh. You never learn.
Oh, and also remember when I thought that Declan Doyle was safe from hiring? I guess not.
Ah.
He is now the new offensive coordinator for the Ravens.
Yep.
Let's see what else here. Oh, fun fact. Did you know that they are the same? Did you know that that Declan Doyle and Lamar Jackson are the same age?
That's crazy. That is crazy.
29 years old.
I wonder how many days are they separated by that age.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder. Oh, and by the way, officially announced for the All-Star Celebrity Game, Chargers, Keenan Allen, and from the Lions, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Hell yeah. That's cool.
I didn't even know they announced the Celebrity All-Star roster.
I didn't
Okay,
either.
I gotta look this up now.
Well, we know they went to former players. They weren't going to ask Philip Rivers because he would have pulled out of that too.
Oh gosh.
Good lord. Um, by the way, it's gonna take place at the Kia Forum. Mark Jones will provide play-by-play alongside analyst Richard Jefferson, with Monica McNutt hosting or reporting. So the player rosters include Keegan Michael Key, Indian entertainment icon Badshah, multi-platinum producer Mustard,
He's got the
rapper.
mustard now. Go ahead. Sorry.
I love it. Glorilla, the rapper. Jeremy Lin.
Oh wow.
Linsanity returning for one night only. From The Bachelorette and Hulu's The Secret Lives of Mormon Wife star Frankie Paul. Love Island USA standout Nicholas, whatever his last name is. Senior NBA insider Shams Charania.
Wow.
Shams Charania's going to be playing. Oh, that's great.
If only Wojnarowski was going to do it too. Just saying.
I would have loved to see Schefter out there playing.
Oh Lord.
Give him something to do.
Give him something to do besides talk the NBA for breaking news, or NFL for breaking news. Like I mentioned, Amara St. Brown and Keenan Allen, FIFA World Cup champion Cafu,
Ooh, nice.
Creator and co-founder of Dude Perfect, Cody Jones.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Social media creator, basketball personality Jennifer Dangy,
Okay.
or Bandy, I mean. Singer-songwriter and viral hitmaker Adrian Nunez. 7'6" former NBA player Taco Fall.
Oh Jesus! Now that's
Oh,
I remember
oh
him.
God.
Phoenix Suns chairman and governor Matt Ishbia. And Charlotte Hornets co-chairman and governor Rick Schnall. Emmy-winning actor and reigning Ruffles NBA All-Star Game MVP Rome Flynn. Marvel's Shang-Chi and the Legend of Ten Rings actors Simu Liu. And 7-time Olympic medalist sprinter Andre DeGrasse will return for the second All-Star Games, while Chinese actor and singer Dylan Wang and NBA legend and champion Jason White Chocolate Williams will return for his third.
Wow. Okay.
Who is that?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is the host of Smokin' the Bay. He is the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, HJM himself. Hijacker Mike joins us for a short time. Hijacker, what's going on, brother?
What's up, y'all? What's happening?
Hey, man, we're just chilling. We were talking about some of the NBA. We got some NFL news, but then we got turned around because the NBA All-Star Celebrity Game rosters were announced today.
Okay.
There's some names on there. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not, like for the coaches, they got on one side will be Giannis and his brothers, Mookie Betts,
Oh wow.
NBA shooting coach Lethal Shooter, Anthony Anderson, and developmental trainer Chris Brickley will be there.
Okay.
But some of the other people that are going to be involved, are Taco Fall, the 7'6" NBA player.
Oh, that young kid or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I thinking of somebody else? No, never mind.
Keegan Michael Key.
Okay.
Jeremy Lin.
Jeremy Lin, huh? Bay Area boy. Former Warrior, Bay Area product boy.
Yep, Linsanity. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Shams Charania.
When is the All-Star game for the NBA?
February 13th.
Okay, and what are they doing right now? They're doing celebrity stuff now?
No, 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 no. This was something that they've been announcing, getting their stuff out of the way for the announcements.
Oh, okay, okay.
They
Because I'm
haven't even
watching something on TV over here, and I guess it's the Super Bowl priority stuff this week.
yeah, because they
Okay,
were just trying to get this announcement stuff out there.
gotcha.
But yeah, fucking the NBA inside reporter Shams Charania and then fucking Amon-Ra St. Brown from the fucking Lions is going to be fucking playing basketball.
And so is Keenan Allen from the Chargers.
Keenan Allen, uh,
Ah,
yep, Jason White Chocolate Williams, uh, Simu Liu, for the actor from Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings, the movie.
okay.
Yeah, rapper Mustard. He's gonna be there. A bunch of different people. A lot of these people, I don't know who in the flying motherfuck they are, but like I could. Oh, and they. But that's pretty much it. But hijacker. We got into some of the like different hirings and stuff. But since you're here, let's get to what we came here for. That is
I'll,
the big game this weekend, Super Bowl, baby. And who is the two teams? Well, we got Sam Darnold and those damn Seattle Seahawks taking on Drake May and the New England Patriots.
oh yeah.
I mean, hijacker, what are your thoughts on this game? I mean, overall, these two
Well,
teams coming from their different spots. Obviously, Sam Darnold having the best career he's ever had as a starting quarterback with a team that is absolutely lightning sharp on offense and especially defense. And then you have Drake May and his young squad coming in there and really making a lot of noise and getting as far as it did with this young quarterback who looks like he could be one of the most elite ones in the league as of this point. So, I mean, what are your thoughts?
I like this matchup. It's young versus seasoned. I see Seattle in this one is my pick. New England's young. They're going to have time. They're going to develop. They're going to continue to play like they had this year. New England's culture has changed since Belichick and Brady have left. I like this matchup. Both these teams are fairly even in the charts for the season, matched up defense, offense, yards, scoring. Both of these teams are very similar in my opinion. So I'm looking at a great game. I'm looking at something that's going to be close. It's going to go down to the wire, just like the playoffs this whole year. The playoffs this whole year have been exciting. We rarely had any blowouts other than Santa Clara's blowout a couple weeks ago. There hasn't been any major blowouts. Every game has been pretty close, and everything has been down to the final second of the fourth quarter. I like Seattle in this one. Seattle going back and forth with New England throughout the whole game. Maine and Darnold are going to battle, but I think Darnold's going to come out victorious on this one with a 28-24 victory, and Seattle will be our 2025 NFL season Super Bowl champions.
And it's interesting, Hijacker, because when you look at this matchup, I mean, you have this Seattle defense who are naming themselves the dark side, and this defense is lethal. And
Yes.
are they Legion of Boom? I don't know.
Meh.
That's up for debate, but I mean, they're pretty good, but I think that this game is going to be a lot closer than a lot of people are giving this game credit. Because going into this game, a lot of analysts, a lot of so-called experts are thinking that New England is going to be outmatched and outplayed against Seattle. I mean, we really truly don't know because I mean, this is the beauty of this Super Bowl is this is two teams that do not face each other on a regular basis because
Mm-hmm.
and now that you have a young blood in Drake May, and it's crazy to say that this is his second year as a pro. And in his second year, he's already in the Super Bowl. And Mike Vrabel, his first year with the Patriots as a head coach, is coaching this team in the Super Bowl. And
Yep.
it's amazing how, and there's one thing I do believe in, and that's destiny. It's almost like this was destined to happen because here's a former player who won a bunch of Super Bowls with the Patriots and Bill Belichick as a player who was successful. He knows the organization. You have Josh McDaniels, the offensive coordinator, who's very successful, and having Vrabel, who's a veteran, who having McDaniels, who knows the system, and getting Drake May comfortable. And he has flourished into one of the best young athletes in the NFL. And just how this kid is already growing as a quarterback. In year two, I mean, win or lose, New England's ahead of schedule. I mean,
Yeah.
this was amazing, to witness. And Drake May's legs, I think, are going to be hard, to game plan for because he's a very fast quarterback for his size. And there was a couple of key runs in these playoffs that May had. The one against the Broncos in the championship game in the snow, that was critical. Those two critical runs that he had on 3rd and 15, getting 16 yards on that 3rd and 7, getting that first down on a run of 7. I mean, that's going to be hard for Seattle to stop. And New England's defense is really stingy. And just like it's going to be very hard for Seattle to stop Drake May's legs, this Patriots defense is flying under the radar. And the way they're playing right now, I mean, one thing that we can say about what New England has gone through in these playoffs, they have beaten the best defenses that were thrown at them. The Chargers, the Broncos, or the Texans, then the Broncos. You could make the argument that Houston's defense was playing with house money
Yeah.
and that Denver's defense was playing with house money. Not taking nothing from Seattle's defense, but everybody was talking about that Houston defense on how they're hard to score on. They're hard to do this. They're hard to do that against. Not saying Seattle's going to be easy to score on, but if we know the tenacity, the intensity that Drake May brings, and trust me, I and Joey know how this kid is. We witnessed this kid's greatness in front of us in high school, watching this young man torch the Richmond Raiders. This guy, as a teenager heading into college, was torching our football team. And we all said, damn, this kid's going to be special when he gets into the NFL. Because at Myers Creek, at Myers Park, actually, at Myers Park, he torched our defense. And I knew whoever signed him was going to have a star on their hands.
Well,
and
Steven,
go ahead.
I was going to say real quick, I think what Hijacker said earlier, he's not wrong. These teams are very evenly matched. But I think the one advantage that I think that Seattle will have would be their passing game. Because of one name, and that is JSN. Jackson Smith-Njigba has been a guy that has gotten open at will on a lot of teams. I know New England has a great defense, and they could possibly contain him, but it's going to be a tough bet. Because JSN is definitely a guy, he is hard to keep contained and hard not to let get open because you got so many other threats. I mean, you have, obviously, the running game is absolutely deadly. Even with the loss of Zach Chardonnay. Look, listen,
Kenneth Walker's a beast.
Kenneth Walker, man. Once that guy finds a hole in that, in that first 7, he's gonna run right through to the second level, and he's gonna gain yardage.
And
you were talking that. But then again, real quick, Steven, New England also has Ramondre Stevenson, who is a big back, and he could get through it, bust through lines like there's nobody else's business. So I mean,
and Henderson too. He's their home run hitter.
Yeah, I think they got a lot. Both teams got a lot of great talent. I just think that Seattle will have a slight edge in the passing game because of the threat of JSN. And
And I agree with that. And I was going to get to that too, because when you look at on the Seattle spectrum, what they have going for them, they have a complete team on not just defense, but their offense. And Sam Darnold, all of us, myself, you, Joey, Kevin, Hijacker, we've all been questioning, can Sam Darnold get it done when it matters the most? And so far, he has. And where he really shut a lot of the critics up, including us, was the NFC Championship game, going toe to toe, throw for throw with the soon to be MVP named Matthew Stafford and the Los Angeles Rams. Sam Darnold did not make a single mistake in that championship game. He made some bullet throws. Incredible accuracy by Darnold.
didn't
And
throw didn't throw a single interception that game.
and Darnold has had probably the highest ceiling out of any quarterback in his draft class. That includes Josh Allen. That includes Lamar Jackson in 2018 out of that draft class. But the one thing for years that Darnold did not have was consistent coaching, whether it be coordinators, head coaches, you name it. And his confidence was gone for a long time. But until he learned from Kevin O'Connell and he learned from Minnesota, and he also learned from Shanahan. We can't forget about that. Until he learned from the coaching trees of Shanahan and O'Connell, that right there really set him on the path that he's on now. And Mike McDaniels, this guy is a hell of a coach. This guy is full of intensity, integrity, and intelligence, as Kurt Angle would say, the three I's. And McDaniels is going to lead this team to even more Super Bowl appearances, in my opinion, if the core can stay together. Because Seattle's team is so well put together, top to bottom. They got a great kicker, they got great special teams, they got great defense, offense, you name it. This should be a hell of a game. I'm super excited, and the more that we keep thinking about it, at first, I was thinking on my head, top of my head, I'm thinking, hey, this could be a blowout. But then the more I thought about it, I'm like, you know what? This could be a very evenly played game because these are very well put together teams. They're both very well coached. They have very disciplined players on both sides of the ball. I do not take none of these players for granted, none of these teams for granted. I think that both of these two teams are going to come to play, but it's all going to come down to who makes the most plays when it matters the most. If this game is close in the fourth quarter, who is going to make the crunch time plays that separates you from football immortality, that separates you from another Lombardi trophy? And if New England wins, Mike Vrabel makes history. He will be the first player and coach to win a Super Bowl with the same team. That has never been done. And obviously, Seattle's looking for their own redemption story. 11 years ago, they blew that opportunity with one of the most hideous play calls in Super Bowl history and one of the most arrogant play calls in Super Bowl history, throwing the damn ball on the 1 yard line with the best running back at the time, Marshawn Lynch, on your team. And obviously the interception by Malcolm Butler against Russell Wilson, and that's what happened. The Patriots ended up winning the game. But if you're Seattle, you have to jump on the opportunity that you have in front of you right now. Because as we all know, winning in this league is not guaranteed. Just ask San Francisco how that went. Just ask Cincinnati 5 years ago. Cinderella that went to the Super Bowl. They haven't been back ever since. It's hard to win. It's hard to stay at the mountaintop and win in this league. Win while you can. Maximize on your opportunities that are given right in front of you and own it. Take command. No pun intended to Joey's Twitter name.
Joey, what are your thoughts?
This is definitely going to be a classic game. I mean, do I think that this is going to be again the game from 11 years ago. Um, Talent wise, I would think so, or at least it's going to be close. But it was obvious that going into, or at least halfway through the season, with how Drake May just continued to progress week after week after week after week, and the fact that he was able to use his defense to get through the playoffs. I mean, it's obvious that these are the two best teams fighting for the Lombardi Trophy this week. I mean, the Seahawks and the Patriots, definitely the Seahawks for sure. This defense has been nasty on so many levels throughout this whole entire season. And there is not a doubt in my mind that the Seattle defense is going to be hungry. They are going to be hungry for Drake May. They're going to be hungry for Stephon Diggs, Ramondre Stevenson, Travion Henderson, Hunter Henry, whoever the Patriots offense puts out there on the field. Seattle is going to be hungry. And there is no doubt in my mind that even though New England's offense and Seattle's offense are about on the same trajectory as far as 50-50 as compared to who's better. And the Seahawks defense, I'd say, is a little bit better than New England's. But yeah, you put these two teams together, you're going to be looking for a classic. And this is definitely not going to be a blowout. I mean, at least I don't think it's going to be. I'm not sure about these other boneheaded NFL fans who think, oh, Drake May is only a sophomore. There's no way he's got a chance at the Super Bowl. I mean, no, you can't be saying that because Sam Darnold isn't really that good of a quarterback either. And
But
excuse me,
Darnold, I think, with Mike McDonald as his head coach, has flourished and he has the intangibles now in being great because we've seen it all year predominantly with McDonald at the helm as their coach. We think, I thought that Darnold, had an overall really good year. And I think that for the most part, Sam I am, he made strides because of the coaching of Seattle and what he's done. And not just that, but the talent that Darnold has around him. I mean, JSN, Rashid Shaheed. I mean, one of the best kick returners, punt returners, and all around overall dangerous weapons at wide receiver. And just an unreal receiving core for Seattle. And obviously, we can't forget about Kenneth Walker, like I mentioned, and like Ezra mentioned. Kenneth Walker is a complete running back. And if Kenneth Walker can break that first lane against that front seven, he's gone. He's gone. He's hard to contain. Go ahead, Joey.
well, I was just saying, Sam Darnold, he has become the first quarterback from the so-called prestigious 2018 class to make it to the Super Bowl, which is kind of crazy when you think about it because Sam Darnold, when he was first making his splash in the league, he honestly wasn't all that good. I mean, he's definitely gotten better since then, but he's definitely still not at the level of a Tom Brady or a Joe Burrow or a Patrick Mahomes.
I would
He's
say
not.
that Darnold's story right now kind of reminds me of Stafford's story from 2022 because Stafford, like on this show, we all picked against Stafford in every game that the Rams played again. And he won every single game, led by the coaching experience of Sean McVay. And to Seattle's credit, again, Mike McDonald is one of the main reasons why Seattle is where they are today. Because that Seattle culture with Pete Carroll, was, it was getting old. It was getting tiring because I think the game passed Pete Carroll by. And Mike McDonald, this is his second year with Seattle, and he's led this team to a Super Bowl. And clearly, coaching matters because Sam's confidence, it's there. He's making throws when he needs to make. He's also making throws that the defense is giving him. He's not throwing a lot of passes now in the double coverage, triple coverage that are bad throws. If he's going to make those types of throws, he's learned where to throw the ball where only his receiver can go and get the ball.
Yeah, definitely. So, with that being said, I want your guys' final scores as we talk about this. Hijacker, you gave yours, but can you give it to us again one more time?
Yeah, like I said, I see this being a game. This is going to be a game that people should be interested in. Yeah, you got a young quarterback and you got a veteran quarterback that's bounced around a little bit during the last 7, 8 years of his career. When did you say he came in, Steven? 18?
18, yeah.
Okay, so he's bounced around a few teams. He's made a name for himself this year in Seattle, and he's finally feeling comfortable like he was in college. I don't see a big blowout. I don't see any safeties either. But we have a game Sunday, 28-24 Seattle.
Oh man, this is tough.
All right,
It's tough.
I will go ahead and go next because I've been replaying possible scenarios in my head pretty much all day long regarding this game, and I think I have something good. All right, so this is definitely going to be a game. I think the Patriots are going to have the lead at one point with just a little bit to go in the fourth quarter. But I think that inside the 2 minute warning, Sam Darnold is going to lead the Seahawks down the field, and it's going to end in a game winning, or I wouldn't say end, but the Seahawks are going to retake the lead on the soon to be game winning touchdown pass from Sam Darnold to JSN. And I think that the Seahawks defense is going to hold at the very end, giving Seattle the Super Bowl championship with a final score of 27-23.
Mm-mm-mm. I like
Okay.
that. I like it.
Okay, so I think I'll say this: both quarterbacks are going to have a big throwing day. I think both quarterbacks are going to throw anywhere between 270 to over 300 yards. They're going to have a big game day. They're going to throw some big yardage. They're going to get some big chunks. I think either Kenneth Walker or Ramondre Stevenson, one if not both of them, are going to come close to 100 yards rushing. And I think JSN's going to go for over 100 yards in this game. My gut is telling me to take New England, but with everything that I've seen, I think Seattle's going to squeak this out. It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a hard-fought battle. 30-28.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, this game is going to go down to the final minutes, I think. I mean, again, look at the coaches for New England. Mike Vrabel, who's done a hell of a job in his first year with the Patriots. Mike McDonald in his second year with Seattle, who has done a hell of a job with Seattle. You have both coaches who know what they're doing. They're going to have both of their teams very prepared as much as humanly possible. But when that game starts, man, I think there's going to be some jitters to start out this game. I think both May and Darnold are going to be nervous as hell. I think they're going to miss a couple of throws as the game starts. But as that game gets going, they're going to get comfortable. They're going to start to make the throws and make the plays they're known to make. But something's telling me there's going to be a little deja vu here again. No, not the 1 yard line again. No, 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 no. I'm thinking because knowing Patriots Super Bowls as much as we know them, there is going to be, in my humble opinion, on the final drive of Seattle. This isn't going to win the game, but I think this is going to be the play that extends the drive for Seattle. And I'm going to think, I'm going to go with a scenario playing out in my head. I'm going to say it's 3rd and 20. 3rd and 20. They need a first down. Seattle needs a first down to keep the drive alive. What's going to happen? You're going to have the Patriots bring in the house because they know, okay, we got them where we want them. If Seattle wants this, they're going to have to make the play. And so are our guys are going to have to blitz them. I think Mike McDonald's going to call a play, and it's up to the playmakers to make the play. I think JSN is going to make an unbelievable catch that not only completes the football move, but he is going to come down with the ball at the right marker to gain the first down and extending the drive. There's going to be a scenario where I think they're going to get pushed back a little bit, and that's where you're going to have to trust Sam Darnold's arm. He's made all the throws all this year long to get Seattle to this point, but it's up to the playmakers to carry him there as well. And I think JSN is going to be a huge focal point in this game. Like I said, over 100 yards. I think Kenneth Walker's going to have a great game. If not 100 yards right at it, he might have a total 100 scrimmage yards because the dude can not only run the ball but catch the ball in the backfield. I think Stevenson and I think Henderson are going to have a really good game for New England. I think Drake May is going to make some plays with his legs and with his arm. But I think Seattle's got this. It's going to be a close game. But I think McDonald and company are going to do just enough to squeak this out on a game-winning touchdown drive by Seattle in the fourth quarter. I got Seattle winning this game 23-20. And Sam Darnold will be named the MVP.
Very nice. But I do want to go ahead and say I have just checked ESPN and the trade is now official.
Are you serious?
The Clippers are sending James Harden to the Cleveland Cavaliers for Darius Garland and a second-round pick.
Well, as Adam Pierce would say, it's official.
It looks like Cleveland will be dealing with the birds and the beard. But I got to jump, guys. I got to get ready to start the shift at the lounge. Thank you for allowing me to join with y'all to give the Super Bowl predictions. Like I said, I'll jump on with you guys from time to time when I get a chance throughout the NBA season and baseball and everything coming up. So you guys enjoy, and hopefully maybe I might be able to jump on with you guys next week if I can and talk a little bit about the game Sunday.
All right, man.
Later,
dude.
You guys know where to follow? Yo, what's up?
Real quick, Hijacker, did you ever get that belt?
Yes, I did. Thank you. I got it last week. I forgot to mention it. I have it. It is with me. We are good to go, brother. The champ is here.
Yeah, I forgot to initial the back of it, though, but it's all good.
All good. Well, you'll get it back. You can initial it, and then you can throw in 2025 on there.
All right.
All right, gentlemen.
I just want to make sure you got it.
Definitely did, brother. Definitely did. Thank you. You guys have a good one. Y'all know where to catch me. Hijacker Mike, Mr. Mac, Smoking the Bay Cigar Review. I'm out.
All right,
Later,
man.
dude.
All right.
And that pretty much wraps up, from what I could tell, the show. I mean, do you have anything else you want to talk about there, Steven?
I think I'm good.
And I know, Joey, you're probably good because I know you're probably your shift's about to end, right?
Yep.
Okay, so let's go ahead and end the show for tonight. Mr. Joey, go ahead with your final thoughts for the evening.
Great show with you guys. It was great being able to hop on tonight, and hard to believe that after a very successful and yet a little bit weird NFL season, it's all going to come to an end on Sunday when either the Seahawks or the Patriots will be hoisting that Lombardi trophy when it all comes down to it. But yeah, it has been a great NFL season. Um, Looking forward to whenever we can give our top 5 NFL games, which I believe could be a topic for next week's show, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, looking forward to that. Looking forward to watching the Super Bowl on Sunday. Um, that's pretty much it. Looking forward to seeing what happens between now and Thursday, regards to the NBA trade deadline. Um, Baseball will be starting up soon. So enjoy the time with friends, enjoy time with family, and most of all, enjoy the sports. Peace out.
All right, which means, Steven, you know how to close it out.
Yes, I do. Great job by you. Great job by Joey. Great job by Hijacker. Thank you to everybody joining in here live and on demand. And a lot of fun talking a little NBA, a little NFL. Obviously, the Super Bowl's coming up, and it's hard to believe that we have reached the end of the 25-26 NFL season campaign. One more game that will decide all the marbles, all the chips are on the table. Who wants it more? Who wants it all? Of course, these two teams do that are still left standing, but only one will be called champion of the NFL for 2025-26. We will recap it next week. And again, I know we are overdue to do our top 5 moments of 2025. We are officially doing that next week. We keep pushing it back, but finally it's going to get done. And a lot happened in the calendar year last year. Lots of great games, lots of great moments, lots of great champions were crowned. We'll get to that. And then in the next week, we will do our top 5 NFL games throughout the entire regular season and the postseason. And hopefully, this Super Bowl will deliver the goods, because on paper, this looks like it's going to be a very intriguing game from both teams. And if you were in the Carolinas over the weekend, man, what a crazy weekend it was with the snow that we got on Saturday night or Friday night into Saturday morning and throughout the day. We got ours Saturday morning into Saturday night, and it snow. There's still snow here on the ground. Everybody out there, please stay safe. If there is still lingering snow and ice on the grounds out there wherever you're at here in the South, it's still out there. Please be safe if back roads are a little messy. If main roads are still, a little, if they have black ice here and there. Stay safe out there. Take care of one another. Look out for everybody out there on the roads, and be careful. You can, like Ezra said, you can watch their latest episode of the Nation's Corner from this past Saturday with him and Elder and everybody talking about the Royal Rumble. This past Saturday, you can watch it at the YouTube channel of the Nation's Corner. They are live mostly every Saturdays, unless a PLE is permitting that. You can follow them on Twitter at Nation's Corner. Facebook, the Instagram, and the YouTube channel are all at the Nation's Corner. And they are live, like I said, 7 o'clock on the East Coast, 6 o'clock Central, 4 o'clock Pacific. And I'm pretty sure everybody knows we'll be talking about the promo battle from Roman Reigns and CM Punk from last night, this upcoming Saturday. Check that out, youtube.com/The Nation's Corner. You can follow us on Twitter or X at Owen_Sports Show, Facebook at Our Nation Sports Show, and where we are live on most Tuesdays, here on youtube.com/Our Nation Sports Show, recapping all things sports. And we are live on most Tuesdays at 7 o'clock on the East Coast, 6 o'clock Central, 5 o'clock Mountain Time, and 4 o'clock Pacific. And enjoyed here tonight, previewing the Super Bowl, talking a little NFL, a little NBA, and even a little pro wrestling. RASSLAN, that spells wrestling. Yep. And with that being said, everybody, enjoy the Super Bowl this Sunday. Eat some good wings, eat some good pizza. And whatever the hell you do, do not do nothing illegal. Don't do nothing stupid, man. Come on. We don't want no stupid idiots go out there and doing nothing wrong they shouldn't be doing. I mean, we're not talking about Eagles fans. They always do something stupid because they're always destroying everything. But I digress. Anyways, with that being said, Ezra, wrap us up, my friend.
Thank you so much, everybody. We appreciate it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Don't forget to follow at 2C Cosplay across all socials. We are getting prepared for the upcoming con season. Next couple weeks, hopefully we'll have some news concerning our involvement with C2E2 this year. Get your tickets now at c2e2.com. 3-day passes, single-day passes, kids passes. Get it all there. Join us for the con with some great people, great celebrities who are being there, actors, voice actors, anime, comic book artists, maybe even some pro wrestlers. We'll see. Just check that all out. c2e2.com. And also I want to plug this for all of our fans out there too, is that Autorama World of Wheels. If you guys don't know what that is a legendary car show that specializes in a display of hot rods and imports and many and motorcycles. It is pretty awesome. It is cool. Check it out. If it's in your area, they have free celebrity signings. All you have to do is pay for your way into the show of that day. Chicago will be having 3 major guests on Friday, 6 to 9 p.m. Central Time. Will be former Iron Maiden drummer and the longest standing drummer in the band's history, Nico McBrain, will be there Friday. Saturday, from I believe it is 2 to 5 p.m., will be 2-time WWE Hall of Famer, the former Diesel, Big Sexy Kevin Nash. And then on Sunday from 12 to 4 p.m. will be one of the most legendary symbols of American TV, Daisy Duke herself, Catherine Bach, will be there from 12 to 4 p.m. on Sunday. That's March 6th, 7th, and 8th. Those celebrities will be there. And like I said, Autorama.com, World of Wheels, search it up. And go to your local O'Reilly's Auto Parts to get a discount on tickets for the event. So,
real quick. Want to give a quick mention. We lost an icon last week. Rest in peace to Catherine O'Hara, one of the greatest treasures in Hollywood. No matter what role she did, whether it was Home Alone or Beetlejuice or whatever film or television show she graced our presence with her personality. What a loss. What a talent. And, man, just what a legacy. What a legacy she leaves behind.
Yes, definitely. Rest in peace to Catherine O'Hara. So, with that being said, for Joey Thornton, Kevin Rory, Hijacker Mike, Stephen Wyand, and everybody in the Sports Show Nation, I am Ezra Vickery, and we will see you right here next week with another great edition of our Nation Sports Show. Take care, everybody. Have a great week. Enjoy NXT, all the wrestling, all the MMA, whatever you're into. Check it out, and we will see you all next Tuesday. Same time, same YouTube channel.
Turn me up. Turn me up. Turn me up. Turn me up. Let's go. Thanks for watching this week's feature presentation of our nation's sports show.